Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be profiling a brand new company to the channel. The name is Lithium South, and this sector as a whole has been receiving a ton of investor attention, especially from the retail community, and I'm really excited to walk through this company's business model. Now before we get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join. And let me know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares of Lithium South and what your outlook is on the lithium sector as a whole over the next few years. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay folks, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Lithium South Development Corporation. Trades on the TSX Venture here in Canada under the ticker LIS, or the OTC in the United States under the ticker LISMF. Now, as you can see, this is as of Wednesday, September 27th, about midday. The company is trading down about half a cent or 1% per share. Now, if we look at a one-year chart, you can see all the way back in December of last year, they were trading in a very similar range, in that 45-cent range. They had a nice run at the start of April, all the way up to 70 cents, kind of a double top there. 69 cents hit again on May 15th. And they've now pulled back to that support range in the low to mid 40s. Now, as the name implies, Lithium South is focused on lithium development and exploration in South America, Argentina to be exact. They've got some really exciting activity going on at their properties, which we're going to talk about in today's video, as well as some other key catalysts on the horizon. Now, obviously, the lithium sector as a whole has been red hot, you guys. A lot of investor attention, especially from the retail community, and that's exactly why I wanted to take a deeper look into Lithium South in today's video. Now, if we jump over to the corporate website, I'll leave this linked in the video description below. You can see some images of their property located again in Argentina. If we continue to scroll down, the corporate presentation is where we're going to spend the majority of today's video. However, I did want to call out this news line, 175% increase in the LCE resource. LCE stands for lithium carbonate equivalent. And as we'll get to in the coming slides here, Lithium South is really focused on developing their flagship property, which goes by the name of Hombre Muerto North Lithium Project, also referred to throughout the presentation as HMN Lithium Project, with approximately 1.58 million ton lithium resource, 90% of which is measured, and their drilling program already commenced at this location. At the Alba, Sabrina, and the Natalie Marie claim blocks, we're going to look at the breakdown of these blocks in a second. And you can see finally here, process, test work, and pilot plant construction are underway, which is going to allow a feasibility study in the early part of 2024 and allow Lithium South to update their PEA, or preliminary economic assessment, with this new resource. And you can see just back on September 14th that pumping and production well installations have now began, and we're going to take a look at that a little bit later in today's presentation. And if you continue to scroll down, you can see some of the other key metrics associated with this significant resource expansion. So not only are we talking about massive scale here, again 1.58 million tons of that LCE, or lithium carbonate equivalent, 90% of the resource is considered measured. This is high grade, low impurity brine, which we've talked about in some previous lithium focused videos, with an average brine concentration of 736 milligrams per liter lithium, and an interestingly low ratio of magnesium to lithium, coming in at only 3.27. Now, before we get into the investor presentation, I quickly wanted to pull up this video that was just published on the Lithium South YouTube channel, because it really does a good job of showing the current activity going on in Argentina. So as you can see, the team is making solid progress at this site. They continue to advance the project, and that's what we're now going to talk about as we move into the investor presentation. So here's another look at the HMN lithium project as a whole in the Salta Province of Argentina. As mentioned, they've already drilled 75% of the project area, which is contained within the Alba Sabrina, Natalie Marie, and Tramo claim blocks. So you can actually see those 9 claims listed on the right here. And overall, the property package consists of about 5,700 hectares, comprised of 9 mining concessions or claims. And it's also worth noting, and we've talked about how important proximity is in previous videos, but the HMN lithium project is also surrounded by 2 of the leading lithium producers, being the Korean giant POSCO. They're currently building a $4 billion lithium project adjacent to the Lithium South location. And you have Allkem Levant with their new merger agreement that's actually looking to develop both the east and west portions of the Salar. And with that being said, now we're going to jump into the investor presentation. Now they kick it off with really their value proposition or some of the key reasons to invest. We've already talked about the first 2 points here, being their massive LCE resource, the fact that their drill program has already kicked off, those impressive concentrations, again 736 milligrams per liter lithium with that low magnesium to lithium ratio. And in addition to that, they've also began designing their pilot plant, which is using low-risk evaporation technology as the recovery method. And the fact that POSCO is spending that $4 billion US to develop their lithium production adjacent to the Lithium South claim package, which means Lithium South could be in a great position to be revalued in relation to their peers. Now this is another look at the Hombre Muerto North lithium project, which resides in what's known as the Lithium Triangle here. So this is really between Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. And within their 5,700 hectare property package, you can see they've got those 9 mining concessions, which we mentioned, 6 of which are on the Salar and 3 of which are off the Salar. And those 3 Sofia claims off Salar were actually purchased for their water reserves, so it's worth noting that Lithium South has ample water already secured to support this evaporation process. And as a refresher, a salar is essentially an area particularly rich in lithium salts. So think of a salt flat or a salt-encrusted depression in the earth that may result in the basin of a salt lake. And that's exactly why in that video you saw the white tinge or white crust in the area surrounding the facility. Now, as we continue to move through the investor presentation, you can see they also give a detailed map of their drill targets that produce those excellent lithium results. So you can see each hole on the left here, along with the average lithium concentration found at that drill site, with some of the holes actually recording averages as high as 1,176 milligrams per liter lithium. Now the next slide I wanted to spend some time on is really the resource estimate itself and the PEA, which is known as a preliminary economic assessment. Now in terms of the PEA, this is actually back from 2019, and this was based on a lithium price of $12,420 US per ton, and a resource size that was identified again back in 2019 at just 571,000 tons. So it's worth noting that the real story here is really going to be with this updated PEA with the new resource size as we saw in the intro, and considering that the current lithium price is well above the $12,420 per ton that was used in this PEA from 2019. So if they were to use the same price per ton as LAC or Lithium Americas Corp used in their Thacker Pass feasibility study of $24,000 US per ton, things would obviously look dramatically different for Lithium South. And it's also worth noting that in the Lithium Americas Corp PEA, they also used an OPEX cost of $6,743 per ton compared to the OPEX estimate for Lithium South of only $3,112 per ton lithium carbonate. And that's exactly why Lithium South is so excited about taking the next step and revising this existing preliminary economic assessment. So in terms of the resource estimate, you can see a breakdown of the various different resource categories, whether you're talking measured or indicated, along with the volumes, lithium grade, and overall tonnage. And again, this was based on the old resource size of 571,000 compared to the new resource size of 1.58 million tons. not to mention the lower lithium price used in the calculation. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how the numbers shift in the revised PEA, which is scheduled to come out, as I mentioned, in early 2024. Now, in terms of how they're actually going to extract the lithium from this brine, they're using proven evaporation technology. And because the brine at these locations is of such high quality or concentration, it's really an excellent candidate for the evaporation recovery process. Now, the other thing working to their advantage is because this location is 15,000 feet above sea level, they can take advantage of the large solar resource available here, which is going to require less evaporation energy. And as I mentioned, this is a proven technology which has already been successfully operated within the lithium industry. And as you can see here, test work is already underway on the Tramo claim block for their pilot plant to test this lithium evaporation technology. Now on the next slide, they talk about those production well sites, which we saw in the video. And as I mentioned, you can see that white crust or white residue located on the surface of the salar. Now, the final piece I wanted to leave you with is really a look at the leadership team. So the president and CEO of Lithium South is Adrian Hobkirk. He's got 32 years experience in the mining and venture capital industry. I'm going to try and get Adrian on the channel for a Q&A session in a couple of weeks' time here, you guys. So if you have any questions for leadership about Lithium South or their assets, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. He's spent his life really traveling the world looking and exploring for precious metals, and in tandem with Lithium South is actually working on developing a 1.5 million ounce gold copper project in Guyana, along with extensive experience working in Argentina, which again is a crucial asset for anyone operating in this country. Now, Adrian has surrounded himself by an extremely seasoned and experienced team in this industry. And as we've alluded to in previous videos, these underlying connections, experience, and track record is really what can make or break a lot of these startup, junior mining and exploration type of stocks. So with that being said, you guys, it really is quite a unique value proposition you're getting with Lithium South Development Corporation. We talked about many of the key developments, updates, and catalysts for this organization. And the other thing we're starting to see in this lithium space is a lot of merger, acquisition, and buyout activity. And as you can see by the 6 examples listed on this screen, we're talking transactions worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So for those reasons, you guys, and everything else we talked about in today's presentation, this is definitely one to keep an eye on if you're looking for exposure to lithium in South America. I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, specifically if you have any questions for Adrian or if you're holding shares of Lithium South. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to join. We'd love to have you as part of the community. That's all for now, and we'll see you in the next video.